Hello, algebra students. Mr. Lawrence here with your much anticipated review video for the assessment we are having Monday. Now, again, I hope none of you are feeling negative about the things I said because I didn't mean it as a negative way, but I think some of you need a little bit of a wake-up call, realizing that you skipped a grade. You went from being a 7th grader to a 9th grader because this is a high school level class. Anyway, let's get down to it. I'm going to highlight graphing, solving equations, and simplifying expressions. I'm not going to highlight the other things in the packet. I think they're pretty easy. You can go back and watch other videos. You could certainly go to Purple Math and practice one of those topics, or Khan Academy. Remember, you're supposed to get the worksheet and practice from the internet. Some of you told me you needed a worksheet. I told you to come back and see me. You never did. All right, I do want to give some shout outs to Julia Winovich. I think you're doing a great job. Julia, keep it up. And Joey, yes, Joey. You've been doing an excellent job. Anna Alfano, I've been very impressed with your work. Keep it up. You're going to be a leader in the classroom. I'm going to start using it as a teaching assistant soon if you keep up this great work. And Rocky Raccoon, man, Rocky, you're doing a nice job. I love how you have courage to say, I'm not sure how to do this, because that's the way we learn. Never be afraid to admit you don't know something, and then because then I can't help you. All right, and my last shout out goes to Kyle Robinson. Man, Kyle, you're like so quiet when I'm talking. As soon as it's class participation time, you are right there. You're doing a great job. Keep it up, you 5. All right. So let's get on with graphing. I gave a very difficult equation. Actually, it's simple, especially if you think of Wonder Woman, right? Okay, by the way, if you're a Wonder Woman fan, you can watch her show on, I think it's at 8 o'clock on Saturdays on the Me channel, which I don't have cable or satellite. It's 19-2. It's WOIO's second channel. Anyway, remember, we got to think of Wonder Woman. That was supposed to be 2 W's. Maybe it would look better like this for Wonder Woman. There we go. If you think of Wonder Woman, this will be an easy problem to handle. Okay, I am going to choose my 3 values for x. And remember, I suggested 0 was a great number to pick. I'm going to pick 5. What is this? Hold on. Skip this version. Remind me later. Get out of here. Go away, you pop-up. There we go. And speaking of which, I better close my email. Oop, it didn't quit it. There we go. Okay, so let's get back to the lesson. I'm picking 0 because 0 makes the math simple. I'm also going to pick 5. Why am I picking 5? Because I'm thinking of Wonder Woman. Watch what's going to happen when I put 5 in. Right? I put 5 in for x. If you notice, and you're a fan of Wonder Woman, you can see that we can cancel diagonally right here. And that leaves me with a -3/1, which is just -3. -3 minus 2 is -5. Dun, dun, dun. All right, all thanks to Wonder Woman. All right, -5. There you go. Okay, now I'm going to put 0 in, and it's going to make it really easy because anything times 0 is 0, so that's just going to end up being -2. And so 0, -2 will be on my graph, and then I'm going to choose either 10 or -5. Why? Because the 5 is in my denominator. I'm going to pick multiples of 5, and then thanks to Wonder Woman, they'll cancel out. So I'm going to put a -5 in there because I want you to get practice using your negatives. And I'm going to multiply by -5/1 minus 2. All right. So the 5s will cancel. And the negatives can cancel because I'm going to multiply a negative times a negative. And so those will cancel out. I'll be left with 3/1, which is 3, minus 2, which equals 1. So the final point is -5/1, or -5/1. Now, if you're having trouble with that, go back and review the video where I talk about multiplying fractions. That's all I was doing. I turned the numbers I plugged in, the 5 and -5, into fractions, and that's all I did. So I need to put -5/1 in. 2, 3, 4, 5. -5/1 is right there. -5/1. And then you need to put 0, -2 in. That'll be right there. 0, -2. And then 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, and -5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there you go. 5, negative 5. All right, so now I'm ready to draw my line. Yeah, let me get my lines out here. Like these. And it's not a line right now. Right now it's currently a ray. I will extend it a little bit, take up more of that graph, and I'll put an arrowhead on the beginning, start, and now I have my line. Now, just to do a quick review, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. I do expect you're going to be able to, on the test, have to tell me, what quadrant this point is in, or graph that point. Well, that's in quadrant 2, right? Quadrant 1 is here, right? Quadrant 2 is here. Quadrant 3 doesn't look very good. And quadrant 4, I'll change it to marker in 1 second. But you should be able to do this. Okay. So, there we go. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And there it is. All right. 0, negative 2 is not in a quadrant. It's on the y-axis, right? Okay. 5, negative 5 is in quadrant 4. You should be able to identify your quadrants. Okay, we're going to drop down here to the equation solving. I just have 4 equations that I'm going to solve. I'll start with number 1. Remember that I'm going to listen to Saddam when it comes to undoing things. I'm going to listen to Saddam. First thing I'm going to do is get rid of this 12. Why? Because the 12 is attached with addition. And the negative 4 is attached with multiplication. Saddam tells me to undo addition before I undo multiplication. So I'm going to subtract 12 from both sides of the equation. And I will get negative 4x, which will equal negative 4. Then I'll divide both sides by negative 4. And x will equal 1. Oh, excuse me. All right, there we go. This problem here, number 2, I've got a 7 attached to the x by division. I've got a 4 attached by subtraction. Saddam tells me to get rid of the subtraction first, so I'll add 4 to both sides. And that will leave me with x over 7 equal to 13. And then to get rid of the fractions, or to get rid of the 7, I'll use multiplication. But on the left-hand side, I'm going to multiply by 7 over 1, thanks to, you guessed it, Wonder Woman! And the 7s will cancel. Now I have x divided by 1, which is just x. I believe that's 91, right? 21, carry the 2. Yeah, there we go, 91. All right, problem 3. In some of the classes, I didn't get to talk about this one, but it's real simple. You don't like this equation because it's got x terms on both sides. Take one of them away. Just take one away. I recommend taking the smaller x coefficient away. So 4 is less than 6. I'm going to take away 4x from this side. But I'm also going to do it to the other side. And notice I'm lining up the like terms. I didn't do it to the negative 2. And when I do that, these cancel, leaving me a right-hand side of just 5 and a left-hand side of 2x minus 2. Now it's just a two-step equation. I can add 2 to both sides, and I will get 2x equals 7, and then I'll divide by 2 and divide by 2. 2's will cancel. X will equal 7 halves, or 3 1/2. All right, last one for equation solving is 4 times the quantity of 2x minus 5 and 3 times the quantity of x plus 1. Well, I have to distribute, right? When we have a number in front of parentheses, I have to distribute. So I have to pass out candy to everybody in the quantity. Well, that means the 4 is the candy. So I'm going to do 4 times 2x, which is 8x. 4 times negative 5 is negative 20. Okay, I'm going to distribute the 3. Oop, don't lose my equal sign. And I'm going to distribute the 3 there. 3 is the candy on the right-hand side. And I will get 3x plus 3. Hey, this looks like the problem we just did. You don't like it because there's x terms on both sides. Remember my advice? Take away the smaller one. Minus 3x from both sides. When I do that, I'll get 5x minus 20. That'll equal 3. Now it's a two-step equation. Add 20 to both sides. 5x will equal 23. And then I will divide by 5. Remember, I listen to Saddam. I undo subtraction and addition. Then I undo division and multiplication. The 5's cancel. I will get x equals 23/5. That is simplified as an improper fraction. I can give that as an answer, or I can give 4 3/5. If you're not sure how to do that, remember there's help after school Monday. All right, 3 to 4 Mr. Lawrence's room. Be there. Okay, simplifying expressions. Remember, we can't solve these because there's no equal sign. They look like distribution problems. So I'm going to distribute this 2 here, and I'll get 8x minus 2. Now, you see this negative here? It needs to be distributed. It might help you if you slide a little 1 in there. If there's no number, you can assume it to be a 1. Like, this is 5x, correct? This is 4x. But this is just x, or 1x. If you don't see a number in front of the variable, you can assume it to be a 1. If you don't see a number in front of the quantity, you can assume it to be a 1. And since it's a negative 1, that's what I'm distributing. Now, by the way, if it were a positive 1, I wouldn't distribute. I could, but it'd be a waste of time because I'd be multiplying everything in the quantity by positive 1. That's if it looked like this. Let's say 5 plus 1 times a quantity of 2x minus 7. Multiplying here is a waste of time because it won't do anything. I could just turn that into 5 plus 2x minus 7. If you need to distribute it, you're allowed to, but again, it's a waste of time. It's an unnecessary step. All right, so I distribute this negative 1, and I get a negative 3x plus 2, because a negative 1 times a negative 2 is a positive. Now, I like to get my highlighters out on this part, and I do that, highlighting the like terms. Notice I grab the signs with the like terms. So, when I do this one, my x terms, how many x's do I have? I have 5 x's, because there's 8 here and minus 3 there. So I have 5 x's. Okay, now, a negative 2 and a positive 2 is 0. I'm not going to write plus 0. It's a waste of time. You could tell me you're 13 plus 0 years old, but I already know you're 13, don't I? Because 13 plus 0 is 13. So I'm going to just leave it like that. I'm not going to write the plus 0. I always want to give the simplest answer. All right, last example, I am going to distribute this 5. And I will get 15x plus 5. And then I will get 35 plus 14x. Now again, I'm going to get my highlighters out. And I'll get 15x and a positive 14x. And then I have a plus 5 and a minus 35. I'm going to combine my like terms now. How many x's do I have? I have 29 x's. Combine a positive 5 and a negative 35, it's going to be negative 30. And there you go. I can't solve for x because there is no equation, no equal sign. All right, that's it for the review video. Of course, the other videos are still up there. You need to practice, get that worksheet done. Remember, the answer key is on my webpage on the Edwards website. Have a good night, everybody.